Wow, what an intimidating crowd. Jeez. Okay, so who's ready to learn some Python? I know. Disappointment number one. All right? Language that everyone loves to hate. Okay? If you're not disappointed with that, I'm not going to be talking about Jupyter notebooks, okay? I'm going to bring you back down to spreadsheets. Google Sheets, too, okay? And there's a reason for my madness, okay? I really do think, okay, JavaScript, which is AppScript, vice versa, and Google Sheets and the Google ecosystem is a magic formula, and it will turn you guys into something like this. But to understand why it's going to make you a chemically injected bowl, yeah, I need to explain what's going on. Okay, so you might be thinking, everyone's pushing towards Python. I know Hamlet is, right? And he's doing amazing things, okay? So why am I doing things in AppScript? I do things for machine-generated humans, okay? Yeah, okay. Everyone uses Google Sheets. Everyone uses slides. Everyone uses Calendar, okay? So most marketers actually are still using spreadsheets, and I make programming available to them. The other thing is that I look at a spreadsheet and I see a blank canvas, okay? It's amazing. I also don't like a lot of UI changes that a lot of the big tools use. No offense, it's just I'm a control freak. And that's why I'm able to write my own custom dialogues, my own custom menus, and that's why I use it. And the other thing is because no matter what you're using, you're probably going to download in CSV anyways, right? So why not cut out the middleman? If you don't know what AppScript is, and the other reasons for using it, it's serverless, it's free, and it's integrated to all the products you probably use every single day, okay? If you've never seen AppScript before, if you were to open up a Google Sheet, look at the top menu, which is the Tools, Script Editor, and that's where it lives. Also, AppScript is just good beyond just Google Sheets, Slides, Docs. It's actually the scripting language for AdWords, which is cool. AppScript can do a lot of really, really cool things. I'm not going to get into everything today, but this is a deck from Martin Hoxie. He's a Google developer expert, and he explains everything about it. This presentation will be online, so don't worry about it. OK, let's talk about spreadsheets for a second. One of my biggest problems with spreadsheets is I see this, right? What are you doing here? You're literally substituting about 4 different words from one cell, but you've just nested so many different substitute formulas. And this is not the right way to do things. And it's not Excel or Google Sheets' fault, okay? They made general purpose formulas. Imagine if you could do something like this. This is not currently available in Google Sheets, but I'm going to give you the code for this, okay? Look how much cleaner this is. It's legible. We're replacing a whole bunch of different characters and words, and we're substituting them with a blank space. Easy. How do you parse the path and URL, right, in Excel? You've come up with incredible formulas, right? Like this, yeah? Do you reuse it? Never. You pass it off to somebody else, they don't even know how to tweak it, okay? So we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to use something, we're going to create custom functions and formulas so that people can reuse things. That's all it's going to take to parse the path. Google search results, you all scrape. Every single one of you are scraping, right? And you might do it through Chrome, through Puppeteer. You might do it through enterprise rank tracking tools. But you're always going to end up in a CSV or a spreadsheet, right? So what you're looking at here is a legit formula. It's called Google Search. And you can essentially define the parameters because I put them in there. Your country, number of results, language, country, that kind of thing. And you're going to be able to bring this in right into a spreadsheet. And this is not a one-trick pony. This is actually super reliable because we're leveraging third-party API. Okay? Are you kind of interested? Yeah? Okay, all right. I got 20 minutes, actually, yeah, 20 minutes to make you guys believers. So the way that this magic works, if you've never seen JavaScript before, don't be worried. Okay? You've got a really simple function here. It's called combine strings. You're taking in 2 strings, and you're outputting it. That's it. You'll be able to do this. And the best part about this is you put an AppScript into a Google Sheet, and you can now use it from a spreadsheet cell. That is exactly how the custom functions work. Cool? Easy. The beautiful thing about JavaScript is because it's so widely used, and we have so many libraries, you may be able to pop in a function that somebody else has written without adapting it at all for AppScript. I should mention that AppScript is an older version of JavaScript, but that should be changing soon. I'm going to handle some objections, okay? So it's just JavaScript. It's just a spreadsheet. People are building neural nets in Google Sheets, okay? People are building OAuth 2 servers. This guy has a sensor attached to his garden. When the soil's too dry, AppScript goes ahead and sends him an email, okay? Schedules a calendar invite for him to go water his garden. AppScript, spreadsheets. There's a whole bunch of things that people are doing which are incredible, and you can see them all on appscript.pulse.info, and I encourage you to look at some of the projects on there. Everything's pretty much open source. And the next objection is, Google Sheets, right? Have fun with your 100,000 rows of data. Okay, a lot of people don't know this, but there's something called connected sheets coming. It's in beta right now. You're going to be able to handle 10 billion rows. One more time, you're going to be able to handle 10 billion rows. And so what happens is, it's going to connect to BigQuery. You're going to be able to shape, manipulate your data, and then post it back to BigQuery, okay? This is still evolving. This is in beta, but you can sign up. Cool. All right. For the rest of this presentation, I'm going to be giving you all the code, okay? Open source, pretty much everything. You don't have to take the code and put it into a spreadsheet. You can make a copy of the master spreadsheet, and you can use all these functions. Let's just wait. I see a couple of pictures here. So, yeah, got it, Hamlet? Yeah, thanks. Cool. So the very first thing I want to talk about is manipulating data, right? We're going to go back to this. And we want to be able to really quickly use this formula to parse the root, subdomain, path, and the file. Really, really quick. So what you're looking at here is a list of URLs. We're going to parse the URI with our formula, and we're going to say root as our second argument. Notice I'm doing something here. I'm not putting in individual formulas. I'm using the entire array. So I'm making this spreadsheet a lot more efficient. 3 formulas, and I've parsed out the root, the subdomain, and the path. And this is taking me seconds. Everyone can use these types of formulas, right? The beautiful thing about Google Sheets and AppScript is that I can actually write really useful help files. And we do this using JSDoc, okay? And so I can tell anybody who's never used Excel or Google Sheets before exactly how to use this formula, and it's pretty easy. And I've tested this with lots of people. They have problems using substitute or ifs and nested ands, but something like this is very easy. Cool. Substitute all. Instead of nested substitutes, I'm going to go ahead and take my entire array, right? And I'm going to parse out all the different things that I don't want. Again, with one simple formula, and I'm not going through every individual cell. I'm using an array. That's why this is much more efficient. And there's the GIF. All right, cool. GIF, excuse me. One of the first things that bothered me so much, you might have encountered this, is in Excel, how do you combine a whole bunch of columns into one? You can't. You have to bind add-in or something like that. So here is another formula. It's called combine to rows. It's going to take all your different columns of data, combine it into one, so it's nice and easy for you. That's it. This is the power of custom functions, right? The good thing about AppScript is that it can communicate with the outside world. Okay, get post requests. You can actually receive get and post requests because you can turn it into a web app, right? So let's go ahead and do the thing that we all want to do first, and let's scrape Google, okay? My provider is SERP API, and I use them because they parse out the entire SERP, and they give you a JSON object, okay? So I can do a lot of cool things with that, and they're extremely reliable as a provider. When you get the code, look in the spreadsheet, okay? And you have to sign up to SERP API, of course, but you put in your API key. Then you automatically get your Google search function. You can scrape Google right away, okay? Because SERP API parses every single part of the search result, it's really easy to parse different parts of it. So for example, if you want to scrape multiple Google feature SERP feature snippets, you can do this. The code is also in there for you, okay? Something I see people have been paying for a long time is SERP suggest, yeah? That is a public Google endpoint, and it comes in an XML format. Don't pay for it, it's free, okay? And if any tool wants you to pay for it, you shouldn't. Google suggests is your formula. It's gonna go cycle through 2 rounds of keywords, okay? Build whatever interface you want. In this deck, I have a tool made for you, which I like and a lot of people other use, but feel free to design entirely your own interface. Python people. You can use Python, okay? But you have to be clever about how you do it. Google Cloud Functions allows you to build things in Python, okay? 2 gigabytes RAM, Python 3.7. This automatically comes with an API, which is awesome because we know that AppScript can leverage any API. So if you want to hand off a process to Python to go ahead and do that, you could do this with Google Cloud Functions. I think you get 1 million invocations a month for free, which is really cool. I do ridiculous things that I probably shouldn't in a spreadsheet, but I do anyways. So from a cell, I can call a headless browser to go around, click, log into Google Search Console, and scrape. You shouldn't be doing that through a cell. But I do it anyways because I can. Yeah? And it's awesome. So these aren't in there, but some of the things I like to do, some of the things I like to use are proxycrawl.com and Phantom.js. If you haven't heard of these are headless browsers available through API services. And I wrote an SEMrush API library as well, which is open source and free. So you can check those out. Cool. So all these functions I talked about, and if you might be thinking about it, well, I put these things into a spreadsheet, right? How did I get somebody else to use it? So I'm going to talk to you about how we use it at Key Phraseology because we're a really small team. You want to be able to package things and allow anybody to open up a new spreadsheet and use these functions. Or if you have document functions, in any document. And the way that you do this is with an add-on. And what you should be doing is testing with a private add-on for your organization because it doesn't require a code review and nobody else can access it. Let me show you how I get things done with consulting. We have a report helper that is available to every single one of our organization members. They start up a new Google Doc. They click on the report helper. And what this thing does, let me explain this for a second. You know when you have a bunch of things you've already written and they're stored somewhere and you have to copy paste into a new document, maybe for a client, it could be for anything really, but you already have this stuff written and you're like, where do I find it and that. So I built a central repository for this. And I have essentially a file explorer. And what I do is I look through, oh wait, I already wrote about my best practices for React.js. And I inject this stuff into the document. The other thing that this does, hopefully you can see this, but it's one of the blue buttons at the bottom that says restore styles. Some people don't use a template, but we have a company style guide, right? You click on restore styles, bang, it all looks the same. Sounds so minor, but it saves so much time. Things that bother me and I don't have time for, like page speed insights. Like I really don't have time to go there and click through a browser. So I have a little dev mode and I put on my URLs, go get page speed, I keep working on my document, it automatically ejects into the document. There's so much possible with AppScript, okay? Beyond just sheets, it's awesome. So let's solve some problems and I've got 11 minutes, to solve some problems with you. Okay, checking if something is indexed or finding a correct 301 target. You guys know how to do this. Everyone knows how to do this. That Google search function essentially will do both, right? We can't use the info command anymore, so you need to verbatim query that URL. But you just made yourself an index checker, which is pretty cool, right? Now, I'm going to introduce a new concept, but I don't want to go too far in it because realistically, when you're working with a lot of data, you don't want to have a lot of custom functions in your spreadsheet. Like I said, you could build your own, it's your own blank canvas. So I built an HTML dialog here. And what I'm doing is, instead of using custom function, I'm passing this off to the server side, checking if everything's indexed, and then I output the data to the sheet. So what does this mean? It means that there are no formulas there. It's all static data, and nothing can go wrong, which is cool. And again, I can make my own menus. I can design the entire interface how I like it. Finding 301 targets, again, using the same Google search formula because it's so useful. I'm using a site colon query command, and I'm using the next best fit, right? Simple. But we're just automating this, and we're putting it into a spreadsheet, which is really cool. How many people will know about the Wayback Machine save function? Oh, very little. Okay, do you know that Wayback Machine allows you now to keep copies of pages? You can actually get it to save. It can actually save Google search results. There's no block, okay? So you can, and I have been doing this, I'm not abusing, and I've donated, right? but you can save so many copies of so many web pages. And so what happens is you send a GET request, okay? Wayback gets that GET request, and it'll render everything, and it'll keep a copy of the resources. So you can answer questions like, why did my traffic go down? Well, did my homepage change? Did somebody remove the copy? And now you have that data point, okay? Which is really cool. Except we're gonna automate this because I don't have time to click on those URLs, right? So all we're doing, remember this, is we're just sending GET requests to the Wayback Machine. That's it. And so in the code, I want you to go ahead and replace what's in the Wayback Save function here and that array, okay, with whatever URLs you want. 100 of your top URLs that you want to monitor. Next step would be to schedule a cron job. In AppScript, it's called Project Triggers or Trigger, okay? And so what I want to do is every week, every Monday, I want to go ahead and have the Wayback Machine save copies of my pages, right? Easy. I set up this job and it'll run forever, which is super cool. The last part of this is being able to analyze this kind of stuff, right? And so you have a function in the code, it's already ready for you, open source, that'll go back and get all the captures that the Wayback Machine has. And so they have a free API as well. It's called the CDX API. And that's it. And I can bring back all the captures for a specific URL. Now, if you think about the applications of that, there's tons, right? You don't have to do any kind of coding to see the differences. So Wayback Machine has a visual difference, which is awesome. But if you think even deeper, right, you can make yourself your own change monitoring system, right? I'm pulling in the captures. First of all, I'm getting Wayback to save this every night or every hour, but don't abuse it. And then after, I'm comparing. Hey, is there a no index or a canonical to a different location? If there is, get AppScript to email me right away. Get AppScript to email all the developers. So you can make your own change monitoring system for free. Awesome. Nothing would be complete if I didn't talk about machine learning. And I'm gonna be 100% honest, I'm not the best at this, okay? And I like tools, actually I love tools like BigML because they make it really accessible to me and to everybody else. So what we're gonna be doing is something that is really hot in the industry these days, which is intent classification, okay? We're gonna be using BigML, and it's free for a developer account. You're not gonna probably exceed the developer account, so you can use this for free. And I'm gonna show you what I did here. No word of a lie, I did this in 10 minutes, okay? So I took a kind of like a shortcut. Use SEMrush, and I downloaded all the keywords that they have for New York Times. And then I automatically labeled it as informational. Same thing with, yeah, this is a bad model, yeah. Everything from Yelp was local, and everything from Amazon was transactional. Cool? You're actually gonna be surprised at the results, I was. Once I upload this to BigML, it literally is one-click data set. It's called one-click data set, and then one-click model. So you're looking at a decision tree here. Paul talked about this, actually. And let me explain this. So with 99% confidence, this model will identify something as transactional if does not contain why, does not contain how, contains cheap, and does not contain the word me. Makes sense, right? Cool. The next step is just to download the free BigML add-on, and this is how easy it is. So I'm highlighting the keywords here, and in my BigML add-on, I'm clicking on predict. That's it. That's it. And BigML has done all the hard work for me. And it goes ahead and classifies everything for me. So here are the results. I'll let you guys look at that for a second. I like that. Can I get another wow? Yeah. Yeah. So this is awesome, and I didn't spend much time, and I'm sure you guys would do a much better job at this. So I don't like the 32 gigabytes of RAM, but again, look at it. It's 51% confidence. Look at the things that are really confident. 71%, why is the sky blue? Informational. Awesome. Hair salon, 97% confidence, right? That it's local. That's amazing. And I did almost none. I didn't do any of the work. It was amazing. I didn't do any of the work. All right.
Shouldn't be legal.
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay, where do you go from here? We can go to the bar, but no. If you want to learn JavaScript, I recommend two things, okay? And I do think you should be learning JavaScript if you're a technical SEO. App scripts, I've given you some resources here, right? You can look this up after. And if app script is not for you, if JavaScript is not for you, okay? But hopefully I've shown you some of the possibilities of what you can do in the app script environment, okay? Hire somebody. If you want to make something that I did for replicate the report helper, go ahead and do it. I just want to show you what's possible. And then if you don't have time to learn, hire somebody. Now, this is Eric Coleda. He's the head honcho at AppScript. And I asked him about V8, which is a serious upgrade for AppScript. And I'm pretty sure they're going to deploy it next year. Yeah? I also asked him for root access to google.com. He said no. That guy. Okay, that's it from me, guys. I'm currently developing SEO tools for Sheets, waiting to get sued by Neil Bosma, right? Let's see what happens. Hopefully not. But look, I'm more than happy to spend some time coding. If you guys are really interested in this, I'm here for the next couple of days. Thanks for listening.
All right, awesome. I have a feeling we're probably going to have a few questions because that probably sparked a lot of great ideas from the audience here. So we have 3 or 4 minutes for questions. So if anybody has one, put your hand up. We'll do the same as we did last time.
Cool, and guys, we're going to have 2 mics this time, so might be coming from me or might be coming from Brie L. But first, we'll do Hamlet up in front. I'm just going to weave my way around, get to Hamlet. And...
Yeah, thank you. So Brave, for those that are scraping Google search from Google Sheets and are brave enough to do that, how many accounts have you got banned by doing that?
0.
Awesome.
You're using SERP API, so you're offloading all the responsibility onto them. For the last couple of years, I used Phantom.js Cloud, and then I got blocked from them because they were using Google servers to scrape Google servers.
Oh, okay.
And then after I used Google Cloud, I shouldn't be saying this. This is a live stream. SERP API does all the bad things, and I buy from them, and they don't get blocked ever.
Okay, so we have to make that caveat. You can query Google IPs directly from
You
Google
shouldn't.
Sheets.
You should really be using a provider like SERP API because they do all the heavy lifting, and they make sure that you don't get blocked. And they do a really good job of parsing everything and giving you a beautiful JSON object that you can parse.
Especially with the account that you have everything, your email and everything. You don't want to lose that one, right?
Exactly.
cool. Who's next? Any more takers? Last call on questions for David. He'll be here later, so you'll have time this evening during happy hour. Oh, sorry, Mike. I see you.
How does it feel to give a perfect presentation?